Mr. Chair, I yield to myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My bill, the Detain and Deport Illegal Aliens Who Assault Cops Act, sends a simple but clear message. If an illegal alien assaults our law enforcement officers, they will be detained and they will be deported. This is because these actions must have consequences. Now that seems like a pretty common sense life lesson that most of us learn at a very early age. But it is a lesson, unfortunately, that President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas apparently never have learned. In less than 3.5 years, President Biden has released nearly 4.9 million illegal aliens into the United States. That doesn't include the gotaways. That doesn't include a whole lot. And in most cases, we don't even know who these people are. We don't even know where they're going. We don't even know their intentions once they are here, Mr. Chair. The Biden administration's policies are reckless. Those policies are dangerous. And these policies have very real life consequences, particularly for American law enforcement. Here's just a couple of examples. In March 2023, an illegal alien violently assaulted a U.S. Border Patrol agent as the agent attempted to take the alien into custody, injuring the agent's face and his arms. In November 2022, the FBI arrested 2 illegal aliens for pushing, dragging, and punching a U.S. Border Patrol agent. Now, the chaos at the southwest border is spreading into communities, towns, and cities throughout the United States of America, and there is no end in sight. Take this example just this past January, just one example. According to the New York Post, quote, as many as 14 migrants were believed to have been involved in a brutal beatdown, end quote, of 2 NYPD officers in Times Square. To make matters worse, because of New York's far-left, extreme, soft-on-crime policies, many of the attackers were freed without bail. Everybody heard me right, freed without bail and given reduced sentences through very weak plea deals. Some of the alleged attackers received a taxpayer-funded bus ride straight to California. Some of the attackers were arrested again while out on bail. The border crisis meets a sanctuary city and a sanctuary state. What a bad combination. Are we surprised by the results of this completely broken system? I don't think so. This is actions without consequences. This is Joe Biden's America. The longer Joe Biden and his administration go without taking action and holding these bad actors accountable, the longer our American citizens will suffer. That's why I introduced this bill. And it's why it's so important that we pass laws that rein in lawlessness in this country. Actions must have consequences. This bill takes an important step in ensuring that we have zero tolerance for those in our country who break our laws and assault those who are sworn to protect and to serve our American communities. This bill requires the DHS Secretary to issue a detainer for illegal aliens who are charged with arrested for, convicted of, or admitted to assaulting a law enforcement officer. It also requires DHS to quickly take custody of the alien if the alien isn't already detained. By requiring mandatory detention for illegal aliens who assault cops, the bill not only prevents these dangerous criminals from being loose on American streets, but also speeds up to remove them from the United States of America entirely. The time for standing by and doing nothing must end. We cannot stand by as the fabric of our American society devolves into violence and lawlessness. Americans are tired of it. The bill isn't just the common sense solution to removing illegal aliens from our streets and out of the country. It is a call for action and a demand for accountability to those who would break our laws. And it is a reminder that those that do will face real consequences. I urge my colleagues to support this bill, and I reserve the balance of my time. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So let me say I agree with my colleague on the other side of the aisle on one thing. One, the American people are not stupid. The American people know, see, hear, and feel what's going on around them. The American people know that their streets aren't as safe. The American people who live in certain cities know that their kids are being moved out of their schools so that we can house illegals. The American people know that they're paying lots of taxes, and they're paying taxes in so many ways to pay for transportation, to pay for housing, to pay for legal care, to pay for bank cards, to pay for all kinds of services to illegals, and including in some cases education subsidies. The American people are not stupid, and they're tired of it. And they're really tired of individuals who come from other countries illegally. And let me be clear, because I never want this to be morphed into anything else. We love in America legal immigration. Some of our best citizens are legal immigrants. It's illegal immigration that creates this problem. And what we know is that there are illegals that break the law once when they come over. Then they break the law again by committing an illegal act by assaulting someone, and in some cases a police officer. We have cases here just recently, published May 14th. Migrants charged in attack on NYPD cops in Times Square offered a plea deal, but they can still stay in the country. So they broke the law when they came here. Then they came here and they broke a law again by assaulting someone. Then they were let out again, and they broke the law again. This isn't for an election. This is to try to save our country and the American people. They're tired of it, and law enforcement is tired of it. We ask law enforcement, these men and women, to protect this nation, to protect our people, and then we don't back them up. It's wrong. It's un-American. And I want to address something else, because we are the United States of America. And on top of it all, it's probably the only country in the world that you can come over here illegal because we have open borders. Other countries don't allow this. No country can prevail with it, but currently we allow it, unfortunately. They come here. We allow them here. They break the law here, and we still give them due process. Yes, they should be detained. And I'll tell you something else. Do you know why they need to be detained? They need to be detained because I hope everybody sits down with the Inspector General for Homeland Security like I did for about an hour and a half. And he will tell you they check the names, addresses, and locations that you're supposed to find as illegals when they're allowed in the country. They're vacant lots. They're vacant storefronts. They're non-existent addresses. Because once they're in, we can't find them anymore, and that's the truth. And they're breaking the law sometimes, and that's the truth. So when they're here and they break the law, they have to be detained so we know where they are. Then they'll go through due process, and they'll come before a judge. And if a mistake has been made and something's wrong, it will be dealt at the way that it is dealt with always in the United States of America. But if they have broken the law once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, no, they should be detained, and then they should be deported. They don't belong in the United States of America. That's not what immigration is about. Immigration is about coming here, loving this country, pledging to the flag, loving America. Now, if you asked in my world what it would be, if you break the law and you come here illegally, you should be detained and you should be sent back, period. You don't even have to assault anybody. But at a very minimum, for God's sake, let's get this done. Enough's enough. The American people are smart, and the American people are tired. They're tired of it. They're tired of being unsafe. They're tired of it costing them so much money in tax dollars. They're tired of not being able to take care of their kids, pay their grocery bills, worry about their Social Security and Medicare because we're spending money on all this other stuff. It is enough. They've had it. I've had it. I believe the majority of this Congress has had it. With that, I reserve.